My anxiety medication was the one thing holding my life together. Tiny blue pills barely bigger than a grain of rice, yet they were the difference between breathing and spiraling, between getting out of bed and dissolving into panic attacks that made the world go fuzzy around the edges. So when my bottle started running out early, I thought I was losing my mind. I remember the first time it happened, just 3 pills missing. I tried to be logical. Maybe I miscounted. Maybe I took one and didn't mark it in my planner. Maybe the pharmacist made a mistake. It happens. But by the second month, 7 pills were gone. By the third month, 12. It didn't feel like a mistake anymore. It felt like a warning. Like a countdown. My name is Riley Thompson. 25 years old. Full-time graphic designer. Part-time human disaster. Trying my best to stay functional. My anxiety is manageable when medicated. Without the meds, I'm a different creature entirely. My heart races like it's trying to escape my chest, my throat closes up, and it becomes hard to tell if I'm dying or just panicking. My roommate, Lena, liked to joke that I was high maintenance. I didn't know then how literal that joke really was. We had been friends since freshman year. 3 years of living together. 3 years of thinking she was the one person I could trust not to make my life heavier than it already was. 3 years of not realizing she was quietly hollowing me out from the inside. The first major red flag came at my doctor's appointment. He held my chart like it was a report card. "Riley, your medication is running out too fast." "I know," I said. "But I swear I'm taking it exactly as prescribed." He looked at me the way doctors look at people they think are lying but don't want to accuse. "It's important you're honest with me. If you're overusing or mixing it with anything, we need to address it." "I'm not, I promise." But he didn't look convinced. He leaned back in his chair. "If this continues, I'll have to reassess your prescription. I can't keep refilling early. It may be a sign of dependency." Dependency. That word felt like a slap. I left the clinic with my stomach knotted. Because I knew I wasn't misusing anything. So, where the hell were my pills going? I went home, opened the bottle again, counted twice. 14 gone. Then I thought of something I didn't want to think. The only other person with access to them was Lena. But I shoved the thought away. No, not her. Not the girl who'd brought me soup when I was sick. Not the girl who stayed up helping me prep for job interviews. Not the girl who'd once held my hand during a panic attack in the parking lot after a stranger yelled at me. She wouldn't do that. She couldn't do that. But the math kept repeating in my head. 14 missing. 14 excuses I hadn't made. 14 ways my own body had betrayed me. The next morning, I decided to test something. I placed my pill bottle in the exact center of my dresser. Measured the angle. Took a photo. When I got home from work 8 hours later, the bottle had shifted half an inch. I hadn't touched it. My heart sank. It wasn't proof. Not yet. But it was enough to make my hands shake. I moved the bottle again the next day. Another shift. More missing pills. It hit me then. The betrayal wasn't a possibility. It was a pattern. And the pattern was escalating. On the 4th month, I ran out 9 days early. When I called the pharmacy for an emergency refill, the tech said something that made my blood run cold. "You're here every month asking for an early refill. At this point, the insurance might deny it." Every month. I had never called early. Not once. Someone had been calling in my name. I ended the call, shaking so hard I nearly dropped the phone. That night, I confronted Lena gently, like I was worried about offending the idea of her. "Hey, weird question. Have you seen my anxiety meds? I think they're being messed with." She looked genuinely shocked. Or maybe she was just good at pretending. "Oh my God, Riley. Are you sure you're not miscounting? You've been really stressed lately." "I'm sure." She frowned. "Well, I hope you figure it out." "That sounds scary." Scary. The word echoed. She said it so casually, like she didn't know exactly what fear tasted like. I wanted to believe her. I really did. I wanted to think it was all in my head, that stress was making me forgetful, because the alternative meant the last 3 years of friendship were built on a lie. But the next day, I found something that broke me. I'd been cleaning, trying to keep busy, when I accidentally knocked Lena's makeup bag off the bathroom counter. It spilled across the floor. Inside, next to her lipstick and mascara, was one of my pills. A blue oval identical to the ones I took every morning. I froze. Then I picked it up. And the truth hit me so hard it stole my breath. She wasn't just taking my medication. She was taking it with her. Carrying it around like a trophy. I put it back. Cleaned the bathroom. Said nothing. Because I wasn't ready yet. I needed more than circumstantial evidence. I needed something undeniable. Something that would end this. So I ordered a tiny $40 security camera shaped like a phone charger. Placed it in my bedroom facing the dresser. Downloaded the app. Then I waited. The first day, nothing. The second day, nothing. The third day, the notification went off on my lunch break at work. Motion detected. My hands were sweating as I unlocked my phone. The video loaded. There she was. Lena, opening my door without knocking. Walking straight to my dresser. Opening my drawer. Taking my pill bottle. Shaking pills into her hand. Stuffing them into her pocket. Putting the bottle back. Leaving like it was nothing. I watched it 3 times. The betrayal hit harder with every replay. Then I saw something else. After pocketing the pills, she pulled out her phone and took a picture of my bottle. Why would she take a picture? I didn't understand. Until the next video notification came that night. I watched her again. This time, she wasn't taking pills. She was counting how many were left. Then she sent another picture of the bottle to someone. The following morning, she came into my room again. This time, she took 5 pills, shook her head like she was disappointed it wasn't more, then walked out. And I saw something else on her phone's screen when she tilted it slightly. A message preview. Got more. My stomach dropped. She was selling them. My anti-anxiety medication pills I needed to function. Pills my doctor thought I was abusing were being sold for cash. By my roommate. By my friend. I should have felt rage. But all I felt was devastation. The kind that sits heavy in your lungs and makes it impossible to inhale all the way. She had been poisoning every part of my life behind my back. She wasn't done. The next morning, I overheard her on the phone. No, she won't say anything. She's too anxious. She thinks the doctor's cutting her off. Honestly, I think she's addicted. She's been taking them too fast. A pause. Then laughter. Yeah, exactly like I told everyone. She's hiding it. My blood went cold. She wasn't just stealing and selling my meds. She was telling our friend group that I was the addict, a narrative she created to cover her own theft. It clicked. The coldness from our friends lately. The way they'd stopped inviting me to things. The way someone joked last week. Riley looks zoned out. She must be on her stuff again. Lena had planted every seed. She had built a version of me made of lies. And they believed her. I sat on my bed staring at the wall, breathing in fragments. Then a group text buzzed on my phone. Lena, of course, had created a new chat. Guys, I'm really worried about Riley. She ran out of her meds again. I think it's time we step in. Intervention tomorrow at 8? A chorus of, yeah. We need to talk to her. She's spiraling. She's been weird for months. Poor thing. Poor thing. My hands shook so violently I nearly dropped the phone. Not only had she been stealing my meds, she was staging an intervention to humiliate me in front of everyone. That's when something inside me finally snapped. Not broken. Not destroyed. Just snapped into place. The fear that had ruled my life for months evaporated, burned away by something colder. Precision. For the first time, I wasn't scared of confrontation. I was starving for it. I spent the next 24 hours preparing. Not emotionally. Emotion was the one thing I couldn't trust anymore. I prepared strategically. Like war. I downloaded every hidden camera video. Screenshotted every text message she'd sent about me. Pulled my pharmacy records showing no early refills. Got a statement from my doctor confirming I'd never requested one. I organized the files into folders. Theft. Sales. Lies. Video. I didn't respond in the group chat. Didn't warn her. Didn't flinch. I let her set the stage. Let her believe she controlled the narrative. Let her think she was the hero in a story where I was the broken, trembling addict who needed saving. And then, I sharpened my truth, until it gleamed like a blade. The next night, I walked into the apartment at 7:58 p.m. I expected everyone to be there. But it was worse. They were seated in a circle, chairs arranged like some cheap rehab intervention movie, a pitcher of water on the table, a box of tissues, faces heavy with fake concern. And in the center stood Lena, my roommate, my betrayer. She walked toward me with outstretched arms like she was about to embrace me. "Oh, honey," she said with the fakest sympathy I'd ever heard. "We're all really worried about you." I stood in the doorway, silent. Our friend group people I'd known for years were looking at me like I was damaged, fragile, untrustworthy. Exactly the way she'd painted me. I swallowed once, then again. "Sit," Lena said gently, gesturing to the center chair. "We just want to talk." I walked forward slowly, sat in the chair like I was sitting on live wire. My hands rested on my knees. Lena placed a comforting hand on my shoulder like she hadn't been stealing the medication that kept me functioning. "As your friends," she said, voice trembling with manufactured emotion, "we can't watch you destroy your life like this." And that was it. That sentence broke the seal. I smiled. A small smile. Controlled. Deadly. "Okay," I said softly. "Let's talk." Lena glanced at the others, giving a tiny nod like she'd just earned an Oscar. "Riley," she said, "we know you've been misusing your meds. We know you keep running out early. We know you've been lying to your doctor. We're not judging you. We just want to help. That's why I told everyone about your addiction." "Pause," I said gently. Her eyebrows twitched. "What?" I said pause. I repeated. "I want to make sure I heard you right. You've been telling everyone I'm an addict?" She hesitated only for a second, but it was enough. "Yes," she said confidently. "Because I care about you." I nodded slowly. "Great. Thank you for admitting that." Her mouth twitched. "What do you mean?" I reached into my bag, pulled out the HDMI cable, plugged it into the TV. Everyone watched, confused. Except Lena. She watched with dawning horror. Her voice cracked. "Riley, what are you doing?" I opened my laptop and played the first video. Lena, in my room, opening my drawer, stealing my pills, pocketing them, leaving. The room went silent, then gasps. "What the hell? Is that? Oh my God." Lena jumped to her feet. That's edited. That's not real." I clicked. Played the next video. Lena counting the pills, texting someone. "Got more coming." Taking pictures of the bottle. Next video. Lena taking 5 pills, shoving them into her jacket pocket, looking straight into the camera without knowing it was there. I paused the screen on her face. Her eyes huge, her mouth open, frozen. The room was dead quiet except for her ragged breathing. I turned slowly to face the group. "You think I'm the addict? You think I'm the one using too much?" I stood. "All of you believe that because she told you to. She told you I was spiraling so she could cover her tracks. She stole my prescription for months. She sold my medication. She lied to my doctor using my name. And when I started getting suspicious, she made up an entire narrative about how I was dependent, about how I was losing control." I turned back to her. "You didn't just steal my medication. You stole my reputation, my health, my relationships, my ability to get refills. You nearly cost me my prescription forever." She covered her mouth with her hands, tears in her eyes. But I'd seen her cry before. It was never sincere. The others were staring at her like she was a stranger. She reached toward me. "Riley, please." I stepped back. "No, don't touch me. I can explain." "You won't need to." I pulled out the final piece. A document, printed and highlighted. My doctor and I already filed a controlled substance theft report, with video evidence. "And the text logs proving you've been selling meds? That's distribution. That's a felony." She dropped to her knees. "No, Riley, please don't do this." "You did this," I said calmly. "Not me." My voice didn't shake. Not once. She looked around the room desperately. "Guys, say something. Help me. You know me." But no one moved. I grabbed my bag, walked toward the door, then stopped, turned back to her. "You wanted an intervention," I said softly. This was mine. She collapsed onto the carpet, sobbing uncontrollably. I walked out the front door and didn't look back. That night, I filed everything formally. 2 days later, the The police visited our apartment. 3 days later, I moved out. Lena was charged with possession of controlled substances, distribution without a license, and identity deception related to medical records. Her parents tried to message me. I blocked them. Our old friend group apologized one by one. I didn't respond. They believed her lies so easily. They abandoned me instantly. They don't deserve access to my life ever again. My medication has been safe ever since. My doctor reinstated my prescription fully. My anxiety stabilized slowly, then steadily. I'm in a new apartment now. Quiet. Safe. Mine. Every time I take my medication, I feel a little bit stronger. Not because of the pill. Because of the boundary. Because of the justice. Because I finally learned that some people don't just break your trust, they crush it, chew it, swallow it, and ask why you're overreacting when you notice. I'm done being the quiet one. The forgiving one. The one people assume won't fight back. Lena wrote me a letter from rehab last month. I didn't open it. Some people need consequences, not closure. Some friendships don't break, they rot. And once something rots, you don't repair it. You discard it. My name is Riley Thompson. I'm not an addict. I never was. But I am something now that I wasn't before. Untouchable. Because once someone tries to steal your sanity, you learn exactly how to protect it. And I do. Every single day.